Well, as always, a Monday following a preseason game, and especially preseason game number 3, the final big dress rehearsal for the Seahawks. Remember, they're on the practice field for a total of 3 hours this week before Thursday's game. They play the 3-hour game, then they'll make all their cuts next weekend. So we got into some of the good, the bad, and the ugly from the game Saturday night in Minnesota, and I think by and large, a lot of good, especially defensively. You talk about a front seven between Brandon Mebane and Chris Clemens and Big Red Bryant, even the linebackers, I thought were very, very effective Saturday night. Adrian Peterson, 11 carries, 37 yards. One of those was a 24-yard touchdown run. The other 10 carries, 13 yards. Very good gap control. The guys I thought played their assignments very, very well, played fast in that front seven. And speaking of fast, how about Earl Thomas and his interception return for a touchdown? The playmaking ability, I think that's the other thing that stood out as a positive in the game. Not just the front seven, but Pete Carroll wants playmakers. What he recruited to USC for a decade, you saw that with Earl Thomas. You also saw it offensively. 3 plays over 40 yards. Matt Hasselbeck to Branch, Matt Hasselbeck to Williams, and a nice go route by Whitehurst to Tate. 3 plays over 40 yards. Do you realize last season, the entire year for the Seahawks, outside of John Ryan, 5 plays over 40 yards. That is it. So a lot of good, I think, came out of Saturday night. We got into a little debate. I'm not sitting here telling you that TJ Houshmandzadeh should be cut or would be cut. We got into a conversation today of whether I'd be surprised or shocked if Pete Carroll and John Schneider make that move, and I wouldn't be. You know, it will be very curious. I will be very curious to see just how TJ buys into whatever role Pete Carroll wants to put him in, whether that's in the slot, whether that's a third receiver, whether at times that's outside. Just keep an eye on that over this week as the final cuts are made. And we know one thing, there's going to be a lot of roster moves with the Seahawks over the next 7 days.